Loved ones will still die, of course. But life itself, before the death, is changed because God shows us possibilities beyond our ideas and our expectations. And I don't know how often I give a thought to this, and I'm sure that you're just like me. Not often enough do we think that because we have a relationship with God, there are possibilities beyond our own ideas and our own expectations. And that makes a difference. John, for instance, doesn't think he should baptize Jesus. He thinks he knows the will of God, and of course, why would he, this itinerant preacher, baptize the one who God had sent? That can't be God's plan. But it was God's plan. Jesus said, I want to be baptized. Jesus says it is the righteous thing to do. And that righteousness doesn't have anything to do with moral superiority. It has to do with, it's a divine requirement in order to accomplish God's plan. This baptism is a binding together of Jesus with everyone else who will join him, with every human being who will join Jesus because we yearn for God in our lives. We yearn for peace. We yearn for courage. We yearn for healing. We yearn for understanding. This is very much a bonding event. Jesus, in fact, becomes our prototype. What it means to be a human being is displayed to us in this man from Nazareth. And so when we sometimes say, well, I don't really know who I am at this point in my life, or I don't know what God is trying to say to me, and I don't know if I can go on with this, and I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, and are my decisions the right decisions. God says, look at Jesus. He's the prototype. That's not going to give you every decision. That's not going to clear up all of your issues, but it's going to put you on a path that's different. Because you are not traveling this life, I am not traveling this life alone into a wilderness. We are traveling into a path that Jesus has already taken, already walked. And he has shared with us his story and his confidence in us to walk that path. If we want to know what is the most fully human way to live, we look at him. And in just looking at him, I believe we are healed. And we are part of that justice-loving fellowship. And so consequently, because we are part of this fellowship, the hungry are fed. The thirsty are given drink. The sick and the imprisoned are nurtured by us and cared about in spite of their mistakes or their illness. And those who are weak are protected by those who know how precious each life is to God. That story about the minister walking down the rails and being accosted by those people, what would happen if 15 or 20 of us were there standing on the platform for the train and we saw what was happening? What would we do? Would we walk down the track and say, hey, why don't you guys buzz off? You know? Would we have the courage to do that? Would we be appalled by what we saw? I believe that if there were enough of us, we would act. And we have also heard many, many stories where just one person, with fear and trembling, nonetheless, acts for the sake of the innocent. God's power is unleashed through those of us who are bonded to Jesus' way. That's really the meaning of the symbolism of the heavens opening and we hearing the voice say, "This is my Son with whom I am well pleased." I would add, and now you are part of this Son, and this Son is part of you. Life is hard for us all, that's the truth. But we make it harder when we think we know what God knows or desires, because there is so much more. There is no end to the possibilities for us helping God repair creation, which we have we have these possibilities because we are bonded together as his people. And we have to believe that every day. We can't let go of it for a little while and then pick it up when times really get tough. Although we are tempted to do that. And because we are not perfect, we often fail. But every day believe that we are his people and the possibilities are tremendous. And if we can believe that, we will have courage and strength, and we will be healed because of it. And we will celebrate life until there is no more life for us, no matter what comes. Just like Jesus. Amen. Will you please rise now and receive the benediction? Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is lovely, whatever is gracious, if there is any excellence, anything worthy of praise, think about these things. And what you have learned and received and heard, now do. And the God of peace be with us always. Amen.